Welcome to Nervous Rex. I'm sitting here with Dillard again. We're it's the new year. It's 2020.
Yes.
I know I'm not sure when this will air, but do you do New Year's resolutions?
No, but I think I have one now.
Tell me.
I was over at my friend's house and I was trying to impress some people and I tried to do a push-up and I can't do one.
So you're going to start pushing?
So I just want to be able to do one. Like
Okay.
I broke this area. I don't know what the hell it's
the clavicle,
called.
it's called the
Like
rigatoni.
the boob area. Like I don't know what happened.
So one push-up you couldn't do?
Couldn't do one.
Okay, well, this might sound sexist, but I think women are known to not have a lot of upper body strength.
No, it's
so
true.
push-ups for women, you don't have to be able to do them. And
But
men
that's
have lower.
pathetic.
I think it's because you guys give birth, so you're more center strength, and men are more upper strength to lift the lumber. And you get. This is gonna sound sexist.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
You don't. How many push-ups can you do?
I do 100 a day.
No,
as
you
my
don't.
routine. I do 4 sets of 25 a day, which is why I have the Greek physique from Mozambique. I don't know if you can notice through the shirt, but I'm very chiseled, very Greek, very Adonis-like. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. You are going to work on push-ups.
I just want to be able to do one.
Okay, we
It's
can
like
get
a
you there.
thing.
All right, I'm going to start training you to do one push-up. My New Year's resolution actually was 100 push-ups a day, and and what was my other one? Oh yeah, and I was going to try to read a book a month. Because I feel like it's harder for me to read now because of my attention span due to social media
you're
and the world we live
illiterate.
in. Well, I'm pretty illiterate, but I'm trying to read a book a month, but it's hard. I lose my attention span so fucked from social media. Do you ever have that problem? Like you'll read a page and you're like, wait, what did I just read? I was thinking about something else. Do you read a lot?
No, I do read a lot.
Tell me what last book was.
I can't remember the name of it. It's the girl that smiled at beads. I mean, it's a little intense. It's about a Sudanese refugee and then she was adopted in America and her
Very cultural of you. Very cultural of you.
I'm trying to get some perspective.
Okay, so Sudanese would mean she's from Sudan, which is in
Yes.
Africa.
Correct. Never
Okay.
been to Africa. No
Oh.
real desire, but
It's a beautiful place.
have you been?
I've been there, and all of our ancestors are from there if you go back far enough. And
I have not done my 23andMe.
oh, you haven't done it?
I don't want to know.
I did mine. We talked about that. I went to South Africa and loved it. I thought it was an incredible place. The people are so amazing. The food, it was incredible. I went to a safari, saw lions and tigers and bears. Actually, that was a joke. I really did see lions and huge gorillas or monkeys or apes or orangutans. Something
was
in the
your favorite
primate family.
animal?
What's my favorite animal?
What was your favorite animal to see?
Probably the lions. It's pretty cool to see lions. I mean, how often do you see a lion, But yeah, traveling's everything. As you know, I just got back from Asia for 6 weeks. Bali, Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. My least favorite was Vietnam. Is that
Wow.
racist?
No.
I don't know why. I just thought it was just culturally, it wasn't as chill as going to Thailand or Indonesia.
Is that a lot of people on scooters, like
That's
family of
everywhere.
4? Oh.
That's all everywhere in Asia. And I drove every single country. I was driving scooters everywhere. And I was a little sketched out because like each country has different rules and you're on the other side of the road and it's chaos. And there's this stereotype that Asian people can't drive, which is bullshit. Because when I was in Asia, they drive better than everyone. And us white folks go there and we can't drive. So I had this epiphany that I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's not a racist thing. It's actually you go to a different land and you don't know how to drive by their rules because they drive amazing in every country I went to. I was the guy fucking up everywhere.
I mean, it's probably, I don't think your center of gravity, seeing you on a scooter is wild.
Well, I did very well. And I actually was really nervous the whole time because my Jewish mom said something to me before I went on my trip. She goes, Simon, I have a feeling something bad's going to happen. So for 6 weeks, I had it looming over me. Like anytime I was doing anything, I'm like scuba diving or scooting. I was like, I'm going to die. Nothing happened, thank God. So I was extra safe the whole time. My lady was on the scooter with me. I thought I was going to crash us off a cliff. Nothing happened.
I
didn't crash off a
you?
cliff. She trusted. I earned her trust on the scooter.
That's a big relationship thing.
It
That's
is.
great.
Well, they say that one of the biggest turn-ons to bond is that if a woman is in an element of danger with the man and they provide safety, that's
Correct.
a real primal thing. Like riding
Yes.
on the back of a motorcycle gets a woman turned on because he's controlling the something like that.
I would agree with that.
Right?
Feeling like taken care, protected and taken care of.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, and I also got in a confrontation. Some guy, I almost got in a fist fight, and I never fight. I'm not a fighter. And I almost
Yeah.
got in a fist fight on a boat in
Over?
Bangkok. this guy was walking around and he was looking at me with his headphones on. He was a Western guy, like a British guy, and he's looking at me going, fuck you, like with his headphones on. And I'm like, is he talking to me? And I'm not an ego guy, I don't care. He keeps looking at me going, fuck you. And then he lifts his phone up and he points his phone at me and starts pulling the trigger going, pow, pow, like he was shooting me and my lady. And I rolled right up to him and I put my finger in his face and I said, what the fuck are you doing shooting your phone at me? He goes, I wasn't shooting it, mate. I was using a nap. Like made an excuse. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? And he goes, you would know if it was a real gun, mate. You'd have a bullet in the back of your head. And I was like, dude. And I was just like in his face. And he goes, you're not even real. You're just a machine. Everyone on this boat knows you're a machine. And I look at my lady and she's just like, he's fucking crazy.
He's insane.
Which means that he'll probably bite my dick off. So I let it be and I took the high road. And but it was interesting because I hadn't been in an altercation in years where I almost fought somebody.
Did you have the adrenaline? Like
oh yeah, I was right. I was going to throw him off the boat. And then I was like, this is my last 2 days in Asia. Am I really going to go to jail in Bangkok for throwing some dude off a boat for shooting a fake gun at me? It was just weird. It was a weird moment. Anyway, so that was one of my
But that was
Asia.
cool that you backed down.
I took the high road.
That gives me a lot of anxiety.
It gave me anxiety at the moment too. And I was like, fuck, dude. And it was weird because I actually had to do the math. I'm like, okay, if I throw him off the boat here, he won't drown. I had all these thoughts go through my head, but I'm not a tough guy. So it was a weird moment to be in. But I'll defend myself if I have to. Speaking of tough guys, we have an amazing guest on the episode today. Michael Rosenbaum, old friend, talented man, good looking, podcast, a comedian, musician, actor, kind of like me, only with more talent.
Jack of all trades.
He's a jack off of all trades, and I would love to bring him on. So will you guys do the old switcheroo? Hey, buddy.
You know, I kind of get weirded out when I hear he's an actor, he's a musician, he's this, because I think people who are watching get turned off. You know, it's the opposite of the motorcycle story you're talking about.
Right.
It's not they're riding on the back. Now they don't even want to watch me ride.
I know. And that's another weird thing about introducing when you're in the room, but you were in the room. Right. It might have been better if you didn't hear that. But I had to explain to the audience. Yeah. Because 90% of people are listening, 10% are watching, something like that. So I just wanted to paint the picture. Most people might know you as Lex. Is it Luthor or Luger? What was his name?
Lex Luger was a wrestler. He was a lot bigger and stronger than I was.
Okay.
I was Lex Luthor on Smallville for 7 years. Yeah.
That's right.
Something I'm very proud of.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean? Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm very...
Oh, okay, good.
Did I look sarcastic?
Well, I can never tell whether you're dry.
Am I?
In a good way. You're a dry, funny guy.
Not with you, Simon. Never dry with you.
You make me laugh.
We've known each other a long time. Man.
We sure have.
We have.
How many years?
I'd say probably 20.
You know what? 1996. I'll tell you. We talked about it.
It couldn't be 96. I wasn't here yet.
No, we were in New York.
That's where I was. It could have happened.
You worked at MTV on a pilot, and I was working at MTV with Ethan Brown, and you were the actor on
Jackson Brown's son. So if you guys know the song, she's gotta be somebody's only light, gonna shine. Did you ever sing that to you, Jackson Brown, because you knew his son?
No, but I got to hang out with him a few times, but he never sang to me. But
he never sang anything.
Not to me, no. But I got to see him in concert once.
On empty.
No,
damn it.
I know.
I would have had it for sure. I would have made him do it.
So that's how we met. So I
was doing a pilot for MTV that didn't go anywhere, and it was a lot of fun though.
And I remember, and I'll tell you, I said this on your podcast recently, which we'll get into in a little bit. I remember watching you. I was there with Ethan at MTV, and you were there. And I remember watching, like, I just met you, and you were talking to the execs and talking about the show. And I forget if you were on set, something was happening. And I remember having the thought, I'm like, oh, dude, this guy's got that thing. He's got the je ne sais quoi. He's a star. And cut to, here we are.
Here we are.
I remember having that thought. I'm not kidding. I remember having that thought going, oh, this dude's got that thing.
That's funny you say that because, somebody asked me my confidence level. How was it when I was younger, when I was just starting, and how is it now? And you think science, the more you work, the more things evolve, you evolve, the more work you do, the more experience you get. So you'd be very, very confident. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's the case. When I was younger, I think you're a little naive and you're super ambitious. I remember I didn't look at any statistics of like, do you know how many actors make it? 0.0. I never gave a shit. I go, I'm the one who's going to make it. I was so fearless. Like I would knock on everybody's door. I didn't care what I was doing. I would go in there. I would just own a room. And it's not to say I don't still like to do that, but I think something happened along the way where we start to think too much. The older we get, we start to worry too much. Now we're worrying about what people think. When we're younger, we don't give a shit as much. We're like, oh yeah, I don't care. I'm drunk, or I'm at a party and I'm hitting on somebody. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, I'm in my 30s. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should adjust myself. Maybe I should just, I want to be liked by people and everyone. And then you start to, fear gets in the way. And I think a lot of things happen the older we get. So it's weird. Like, I remember being that guy. I remember being like, I'm ready. Let's go. Where's the MTV party? And I'm an actor and I don't give a shit, man. I'm going to be famous. And then all of a sudden you get fame. You get all these things and then you get in your head.
Yep.
And people are like, aren't you grateful? I'm like, oh, fuck. I couldn't be more grateful, but I'd be even more grateful if I could not be so worried all the time. You know,
everything you said is 1,000% right. I think it's two things. You got the dreaded conscience where you get older and you don't want to just be an asshole, and you're younger, you don't give a fuck. And when you're young and you play chicken as a kid and you're going head on with someone, you're like, I ain't moving out of the fucking way. And then as you get older, you're like, oh, I ain't gonna get hurt. I'm moving out of the fucking way. So
Yeah.
I think it's just like you're right. I think as you get older, you get a little more conservative. You become more mature, and you lose that I don't give a fuck because it does.
You kind of do give a fuck in a way.
Right.
In a way.
Dude, that's my whole theory. Not giving a fuck is the most powerful thing you could have. And now that I'm older and I do give a fuck, I actually picked up a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I read that book.
And I'm like, dude, I used to be that guy. Now I got to read a book on how to not give a fuck.
About
It's
not
all
giving
fuck.
a fuck. I wrote this book.
Yeah.
Why am I reading my own book?
I am this book. So, dude, I couldn't relate more, dude. So it's kind of a weird business to get more mature, and it's not like other fields where, because as an entertainer, you really just got to be like, fuck it, you know?
You absolutely do.
So,
you know what I read too?
What?
Dillard. By the way, Dillard has a great accent. She reminds me of home back in southern Indiana. I'm not doing your accent, but everybody just would like.
It's adjacent.
Well, it's just really nice and it's comfortable and it makes me feel.
Does it make me sound smart?
No, it makes me feel warm. By the way, you're a reader. I was listening to you guys before, and I know we like pictures in our books and all those things.
Pop up.
I like pop-ups and I like, cliff notes for each chapter. I don't want to read the entire thing. But no, I like that. It does. It makes me feel like I'm back home in Indiana.
So you lost the accent. She still has it. The only reason she's on the show is because of her accent. It's not due to her looks or her personality. Strictly accent.
It's also, my accent's fake.
Oh, right. That's right. She's from Burbank.
Give me your real accent.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I lean into it so damn hard.
I love it.
And we all know this.
That's
it's
great.
all for attention. And my father told me if I ever lose it, he'd come rip me out of Los Angeles.
Right.
Yeah.
Know who you are.
So they wanted me to get a co-host for the show, and I thought it'd be a good idea too. They're like, why don't you get like a good female cohort to help bounce stuff off of?
So
and
you
she was
look
the first
like an
person,
idiot all the time, or a racist, or a pig. Like,
I will anyway.
You gotta,
And she was the first person I thought of, and she said, I'll do it. So here we are. So she's become my little, my friend.
Does she ever say things like, you can't say that?
No, she doesn't really say that. They tell me that here sometimes, but that's the magic of editing.
It's just ignorance. Sometimes if I say something, my friends will say, you can't say that. I'm like, what do you mean? Why can't I say that?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because you sound like you're an idiot. And I'm like,
I just
I
say,
am.
Well,
I am an idiot.
And that's when you're younger, you don't give a fuck. I don't care about sounding like an idiot. And you get older, like, oh, do I sound?
Yeah.
The conundrum.
But you know what I've become as I'm older? I'll tell you one thing. The great thing, even though I've lost maybe a little confidence, maybe I worry too much, maybe, what's that song? I drink too much. I smoke too much.
I suck my own dick. What is that?
That lyric wasn't in there when I heard it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But what you do learn, but what does happen to you, if you're lucky, you fucking evolve. I'm starting to evolve. I'm starting to feel
into what?
Into like I think maybe somewhat of a man, of a better person. Like, I'm not saying I was a bad person, but I just I think more about things that are more important.
Good. Yeah, no, I see that.
I do a lot of charity work now. I'm like, I want to feel good. I want to feel grateful. So I'm doing more to work on myself than I've worked, I think, ever on my career.
Right.
Because I don't know what the last chapter is, or maybe I'm in the middle of the second chapter. What do you think?
Of your life?
Well, I'm in late 40s, so I'm towards the middle chapter, right?
Yeah, well, if we're lucky, we're halfway there. So I'm 45. How old are you?
I'm 47.
Okay, we're halfway there.
Well, I just read something. I could send you this. There was a graph. In fact, somebody was listening to my podcast. My friend Sarah Rue, she's an actress. She's been in a million things, and she goes, my husband listens to your podcast, Inside of You, every week. And he sent me this just to try and make you feel better. And it was a graph. And it showed happiness at every age. They did a big science study on it.
Right.
And happiness, of course, when you're younger was way higher.
Right.
And then I noticed, wait a minute, 44, 45, 46.
It's going down.
The lowest time of happiness is when you're 48.2. And so it makes sense. So everything, it made me feel better because last year I went to a wellness center. I worked on my shit. I felt like I grew up a little bit. I got to know myself for the first time. And so all these things, now I'm seeing a light. Like, okay, I'm at the dipping point. I'm right. And now it's time to do all these things that are going to make yourself feel better.
I've heard the same exact thing. That mid-40s is the hardest part for a man specifically.
I didn't know this.
Now, tell me about this wellness center. And then for listeners, when he said Inside of You, because that might have sounded weird, that's the name of his podcast.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum's podcast.
Correct.
And the podcast, it started out as, and you were on, which you were brilliant on.
Oh, thank you.
But like it started out as people were like, Kevin Nealon and Kristen Bell were like, is this therapy for you?
It kind of is.
And I'm like, yeah. And then it became therapy for people that they come up to me at conventions and stuff and cry and hug me. And so it's just a candid, fun look at like life and anxiety and realize that we're not alone.
That's
like
exactly
all these
it.
celebrities,
Yeah,
even though you're like,
exactly.
why are they getting anxious? Why are they depressed? They're celebrities.
Right.
But it just shows you how everyone's human. We all share certain things.
Right.
And how do we get over it? And how did they, how did Rainn Wilson get over this or a death of his dog or, Joe Coy, who's a big comedian, was crying on the show, and Jennifer Love. I'm like, what is going on? And it starts out fun, but sometimes people really, it's like soul searching.
It's refreshing for listeners to see that we're humans too, also, and that because the podcast format has just really opened it up. Because the old canned 5-minute Tonight Show interview was never real. You never really got to know someone on there.
Yeah.
Like they're promoting their movie. This is where you really kind of get real.
And
you
you talk. I remember when you came on, which you guys should listen. We're going to be on video soon too, so you can watch it. But you talked about having a wet dream as a 44-year-old man.
Yeah,
have you talked about it in the show?
I've had 3 in the last year.
That's incredible. A wet dream as an adult. I just find that I don't think I've had that. I still get the pre-stuff, the pre-C.
Oh, the premature ejaculation?
Oh, you could say that?
Yeah, sure. You can say anything you want. I actually woke up with a boner.
It's like this scientific term. You can say that?
I woke up with a boner this morning. And I'm sorry. I was jet lagged and I fell asleep watching the 49ers game yesterday because we were up by 25 points. And I fell asleep on my boy's couch and I woke up with a raging boner. I'm like, how old am I, 17?
Was it a Niner boner? Were you so excited they were crushing?
Yeah, I think it's because we're going to the Super Bowl. I didn't think about that.
That was a boner.
But yeah, I was just even like that. I'm like, whoa, I have the libido of a 17-year-old. Which is a good thing, I think.
You know what I noticed too is, not if we're going to get into sex or anything.
We can talk about anything.
I'm just saying that, like, for me, with sex, isn't it amazing that your penis, when you're younger, your penis doesn't really. I'm looking at you like you have a penis still. Sorry.
I've seen a few.
But isn't it? But isn't it funny how you pop boners left and right when you're young?
Right down the middle too. Yeah.
Right down the middle. Then all of a sudden, it's like my dick wants to talk to me about things. It's like, no, we don't need to do that. What do you mean we don't need to do that? This is no, we don't need to do that.
Wait, when you're older,
we need to find love. When you're older,
right.
We need to. This is not right for you. I'm not going to allow you to do this.
Right.
I don't know if it's in your head or whatever, but when you find that one person that it's sexually like electric, there's a reason for it.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, for me at least, if that's good, it means I'm comfortable.
Well, here's an interesting thing too. I'm finding that as I get older, I learned this word recently. What is it? Mark Ronson, the musician, he was in an interview saying that he is. God, there's a word for it. I'm going to forget.
Pansexual.
No, something like that. It's I can't remember the name right now, but the word means that you are attracted to somebody's intelligence. That's what turns you on, is somebody's like their IQ or how smart or their conversation, not just physically looking at them. And I'll remember the word on my drive home later when it doesn't matter. And I was like, holy shit, I relate to that because I'm seeing a girl who is extremely intelligent, right? And like she's a straight A student in middle school. Just kidding. And her level of intelligence is what gets me going because we can have a conversation that I'm like, oh my God, she's so smart. And it's as well as beautiful. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting older. I'm turned on by intelligence, which was never the case before.
But you seem to be a guy, like I've known you for a long time. You just like, I've always envied you because I was like, that guy could probably fuck.
You. I could
not
fuck you?
Me.
No,
no.
I thought you were attracted to me.
There's certain guys in this town in Hollywood that I look at and I just look at him. I go, God, he's just really naturally handsome. He's got. Listen, let me talk about you for a second. I know you're self-deprecating and people are gonna be like, no. But I'm just saying, I remember seeing you out and going, he's just. If I go out with Simon, chances are, not chances. if we meet a girl, Simon's getting the girl. I'm like that guy. I just know it because you are charismatic, but also it was one of those guys. I was like, God, he's probably super in bed. He's got a great body. Look at, he's got a tan and a natural tan. Is that just his natural color?
I'm blushing.
What the fuck is that? Like, it's just one of those beautiful guys where I'm like, I'd see you out and I was like, God, we want to hang. And we talk and but I'm like, I don't want to go out with him,
right?
Because he's gonna, guys are gonna go home with him.
Or you could look at it this way. Oh, well, maybe I'll just get the runoff. Because there'll probably be other girls as well around that you might be able to,
That's true.
Because, and it's funny because I think it's the gift.
Well, wait, Dillard, is that true?
That is true.
If like there's 3 hotties and they're all on Simon back in our mid-20s, not now.
It doesn't happen anymore.
Not anymore.
That got gray. We got gray now. But I think girls like the gray.
Gray's
But first of all, thank you.
Hang on, say that again.
Gray is hot.
Gray is hot. I love that.
Is.
Yep, go ahead.
First of all, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's very nice of you to say.
You're welcome.
And I don't know how to take compliments.
I don't either. I have a rule, though. I have a rule.
To say thank you and move on?
Yes, we have rules when I'm in relationships or even with my friends. Here's what I say. This is not like really weird rules. It's a simple rule. When I say, Simon, that's a great shirt. It's not a great shirt. It's fine.
It's all right.
But if I said, Simon, that's a great shirt, you just, no matter if you're like, no, it's people, here's what we want to do. Like, no. I just woke up. I just just go, thank you.
Dude, my dad taught me that when I was a kid.
Thank
he said,
you.
just say thank you and move on.
You're handsome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And top it. Go up one. Go say I'm handsome.
You're handsome.
Thank you. I know. You could go there because
Dude,
it adds
funny.
some humor.
That's funny. That's funny.
Why not? Be confident. I'm trying to get this confidence back.
And you know what? And it's confidence and cocky are two different things. Because being cocky is unlikable, but confident women are attractive. Is this fair enough? This is why she's here, for the female demographic regalia to understand. Do you think if a man's cocky, it's a turn up, but confidence a turn on?
Absolutely. No one wants to. Everyone's like, oh, I want an ass. No one wants an asshole.
No one wants an asshole.
But do you want to fuck an asshole? Not a butthole, but an asshole man. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
No, because I don't want to feel like shit the next. Like I just don't.
But
I'm
in the
35.
moment. Oh, you look great. I mean, not
How
that
about
that's
a good
old.
guy? How about just a good, confident guy who, even if he doesn't want a relationship, says, hey, here's the reality. I think you're beautiful. I think you're hot. I'm not looking for anything. If you want to have fun and go out and have sex, great.
Some girls want to do that.
I'm just not looking for. And if you're that honest with someone, I think that says something.
I've been that guy, and it works in the beginning, but it never ends that well. Like I've been that guy.
Then
for either, you probably get attached a little. They get attached a little.
Well, then they like you more because they're like, oh, why is he? I've done that one and been completely honest. Like, look, I'm not looking for anything. I just want to have a good time. And if you're not interested, there's the door. But not that rude.
Right.
And that makes them want you even more. And then they want to try to turn you into a boyfriend because they're like, oh, he's a project. He's a fixer-upper. A lot of women like to see. Look at that. Yeah. So they're like, oh, look, the bones are there. We got to fix this house up.
I want like a man that goes, this is where we're going to dinner. I'm picking you up at this time. I want
that orders for you.
Well, no, because I'm very controlling with food. Like
well,
I like
could, as
food.
well. He means you say, "Honey, I want the lasagna," and he goes, "She'll have the lasagna."
Exactly.
Not order for you in the sense that she's going to have.
I went on a date once, and I thought, and it was a mature older woman
of 35.
No, she was my age.
Oh.
And I remember she's like, I think I'm going to have this or whatever. And dude, I'm telling you, this went south. This was like. You could decide what the name of this movie title would be. It was like, you know what? She's going to have the pepper steak. And she goes, I can order for myself. Ooh. And I go, dude, I shut down like a little child. Like a little...
But wait. That's what she wanted, and you ordered it for her, but she already told you.
I thought I'd be funny. I was trying to be funny. I go, the lady will have the peppered steak. And she goes, I can order for myself.
And then what happened after that?
It told me a lot about myself, about my childhood, about my dysfunction, because I immediately felt like I was this scolded kid who just did wrong, who couldn't, was trying.
You were just being sweet.
I thought you were just being sweet.
It hurt. Dude, and I remember, and she goes, are you okay? Like about a few minutes later, because I inadvertently, my body, I'm like, after someone says that, you're like,
no, I know.
Oh, sorry about that. You know what? I'm going to have you're like this. You're like, oh, I'm embarrassed right now. God, she just yelled at me in front of you. I'm an adult. Okay, thanks. And then she's like, are you okay? I'm like, you know what? I just, no, I feel really uncomfortable.
But did you tell her?
Yeah, I said it right away. I go, look, I feel really uncomfortable. I don't know what. She goes, and I immediately go, hey, this is what's happening. You and I are going to be good friends we're going to be friends, and this is just friendship. I could see that there's some kind of something underneath that you don't.
And what was her reaction?
You don't want to be out with me right now, and blah blah blah. And I've never been this honest, but I thought she's either going to get up and leave, or I'm going to get up and leave. I'm going to be a scene. I don't want a scene. Oh my God, what the fuck? And I remember, I just immediately the defense mechanism. This is what I did. I go, hey, you're awesome, and I'm awesome, and we're friends, and I don't want this to be weird. This is just going to be a fun dinner. There's no ulterior motives. There's nothing. And she goes, thank you so much. That was really, I'm sorry. I just went, I went through a divorce. And so it was all these other things.
Right.
It was all these other things, but it freaked me out. And it was somehow I managed to, in a somewhat mature way, because really what I wanted to do was like, fuck you.
Right.
You know what? This girl is a fucking nut.
Right.
I mean, I really did. I wanted to go, I'm trying to be funny and nice here. I want to do stand-up comedy.
Was this at Jones? I pictured Jones.
No, this is in another city.
Oh, okay.
But it just was like, I knew that wasn't the way. Do you know that feeling when you're so uncomfortable?
I feel it right now.
I was so uncomfortable. Now I still have that discomfort.
Are you friends with her still?
I wouldn't say I say we said we're going to be friends, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, yeah, great. And everything was great. It was almost like it never happened, even though while you're talking to someone, oh, like, great, you grew up there. That's so great. Wow, you just flipped out on me in your fucking head. And so after that we never had contact.
So did you say what's the name of the movie of that? Did you ask me? I think it would be called Check Please.
Real.
That's a good one.
What did you have? Do you have one yet for it, or did you? Did you ask that?
Silence of the Bitch.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, I wouldn't. What would be yours, Dillard?
I mean,
Dinner for one.
Yeah,
Table for. I was gonna say table for one.
Well, mean bitches finish last. Like I don't get that. I don't like the girls that are like I can open the door myself.
Right. It's a little too.
Fucking open the door.
I think what she was doing was trying to just shut me down, saying, "Hey, I'm not into you. I thought I was.
Right.
I'm not. So I'm not," which is fine. But like, be nice. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Play
So what
nice.
city was this in? That says a lot
Right,
about
you
it.
can't say that.
Oh, well, that's a big city, is it? I mean, if you say New York, we're not going to know who she is, would we? Is she famous or something?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's
Who's a famous
not
person.
go
Yeah.
anything.
Nobody would know. I'm very good at
I
keeping
like
secrets.
the story though.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey. So.
Did you hate that story? Was that a weird non sequitur?
No, I liked it. Now, okay, let's go. You grew up in Indiana.
Yeah.
You don't seem, no offense to Indiana or you seem more big city.
I was born in New York.
Okay,
but
there
my
we
dad
go.
got transferred when I was 8, and I lived in a small town in Indiana of like 2,000 people in Newburgh, Indiana. And it was very southern Indiana, like on Ohio River. Henderson was right over the water. And so, you know what's weird is I could still go back and I sort of jump into that accent. And it's not like yours. Where are you from again?
North Carolina.
Right. So, my friends are more like, "Hey, Rose, you going over to Fox and Hound?" It's more like, it's just real laid back. It's like, yeah, I don't know, man. We should grab a beer or something. It's just very, and I could jump back into it and I can just do it. But it's like, you kind of jump back. But I go back. I play a wiffle ball tournament. I have like a part of a dealership, a car dealership.
Oh, that's
there.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So you're the big, obviously
Integrity, baby. Integrity Motors. I love it.
So you back home, could you imagine? You're the talk of the town in
Yeah,
the
you're the
2000.
Hollywood.
Is this near Vincennes?
It's not far from Vincennes.
Okay, it's the only place
talk of the town. I think Smallville came out, and then also I directed a movie called Back in the Day with some people. We went out to Indiana and filmed this little raunchy comedy. And so I go and people come up to me. They do come up to me and they're like, "Oh, Smallville," or this, or so it's cool.
Now, what about the wellness center you talked about? Do you mind talking about that?
Do you
or
like
is that
how
too
I just
personal?
kind of deflected?
Yeah, no.
Did I deflect
about wellness center before? Did I try to ask? Because
No.
I want to do stuff like this. I'm all about the self improvement.
Yeah,
we don't have to go too deep.
No, I'll go
but
deep,
you and
man.
I are both about sort of all right. Let's hold the mirror up and do some self work and fucking.
That's
figure this
why
shit
I
out.
feel like now I can hang out with you.
I'm
kidding.
We always could.
No,
but
I'm saying, look, I love you. Now I'm saying that there's more of, there's like a connection
There's a
where,
depth.
where we just want to be better people
Right.
in general. Like, not that we were bad people. We just are trying to figure out how can we, and I don't want to sound like, again, it's hard to say when you're an actor or whatever, and you're saying, people assume you have to be happy. How could you not be happy?
Right.
And I live a great life, and I'm doing all these things that I love. I'm just, for some reason, in a rut. And I think that stuff that happened to me when I was a kid and just dysfunction in life, I think, I'll have to be honest with you. When I was a kid, I the real me hibernated somewhere deep down in my soul that I just never untapped. And so I became something that I thought maybe, people wanted. I did a play and they're like, "You're funny." And I'm like, I should be that guy in the play on stage. It shouldn't be me. You're fun. When I'm funny and making people laugh and I'm just owning, then it's like, okay. And so I never, truthfully, this sounds weird. I was in the wellness center, day like 14, and the woman, one of the therapists says, "Hey, you're relearning. You're relearning." And I go, "No, I'm not." Thank you for laughing. No, it's true. It's funny. And it is funny. She goes, "You're relearning." I go, "No." She goes, "What do you mean?" I go, I'm not relearning." She goes, "I don't understand." I go, "I'm fucking learning." I'm like this like little boy who didn't get all these things, I don't blame my parents. I don't blame anything other than now it's time to feel more. Right. Now it's time to get that little fucker out and let him be grateful and appreciative and look around. Not that I'm not, but more about feeling more, being present more, being all these things. And so I felt like the reason I got in there wasn't for drugs and alcohol. Although I went through a lot of surgeries, I had problems. I had my neck was fused and
penis reduction,
penis enlargement.
Oh, right.
And so what I did was I went there thinking, I just don't know who I am really. I'm going through the motions. I think I'm a really good person. I give to charity. I'm good to my friends. I give my money to my mom. I do all these things. I've got to be. But why do I feel empty? I did this. Why do I feel like shit? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So my friends, I don't talk about this shit with my friends. I talk about them like on my podcast.
Right.
I talk about it. So if you listen to my podcast, you really get the fucking.
I do the same thing. It's easier to open up for some reason instead.
Because there's no, but now there is a connection. Like people care about you that are watching. Like I care about Simon, or they care about me or Dillard, because you're being vulnerable, being real, and they can relate.
Right.
And so that was a 21-day crash course in finding out who I am. And of course, you're not going to get out of there. I'm perfect. I'm a 10.
No, of course.
So I felt like, dude, I was doing shit. I'll give you an example. They had on the schedule, they had art therapy.
Sorry.
It's funny. It was funny to me.
Explain art therapy.
Well, I will. Well, I said, no, I want therapy. Not art therapy. I want therapy. I'm paying some good money here. I want therapy. I need therapy. I'm here. I'm in Connecticut. And they said, just try it. I go, well, I only have 3 weeks and I want to fill my schedule with things that I think are going to really help. So this is, again, avoidance. This is not being open, not being flexible. Right. All the things that I'm in there for probably. I'm not even thinking that I'm telling her this right now.
Right.
And they get me, I agree to it. I go to a art therapy class with this woman. Her name is Comer. Older woman. Not old, but older. And she sat with me and I just go, listen, Comer, I'll be honest with you. It may sound cocky, but I'm good at some things. I'm good. I think I'm a good actor. I think I'm a good podcaster. I'm good. I'm funny. I think I'm kind of funny. I'm not good at art. Not good at art. She goes, it's okay. I go, no. She goes, come on, come over to this table. There's pastels. There's what do they call it? The paintbrush, watercolors, and there's all this shit. And I looked at it and I was starting to get a little panicky. And I go, I'm colorblind. Do you understand? She goes, what? I go, I'm colorblind. I can't even differentiate these colors here. Is that a blue? What is that? She's like, the saboteurs are outside. This is what she said. It's just me and you. You could sit here with anything you want and just draw circles for however long you want. And I go, circles you want?
Are you really colorblind, or was this just... Oh, okay.
My uncle was, my grandpa is, my grandfather is, my brother. I can't differentiate a lot of colors.
So you're not racist. Okay, good.
Right, exactly. So I sat there, and all of a sudden, I noticed 10 minutes pass me, and I'm just doodling, and I'm just like focused. It's just like, because I'm not trying to be great. I'm not trying to be, I have to be good at this. I have to be great. I have to impress everybody. I'm just doing circles, and then, oh, wow, it's a 3D box. How did I remember that? That's kind of cool. It's like I'm making it look like it's three-dimensional. That's neat, little lines and shit.
You got out of your fucking head.
Well, by the way, this is a 9-year-old drawing.
You mean it looked like a 9-year-old drew it?
It is.
Right.
So
this is 9-year-old you.
I look up at her 10 minutes in, and she looks up to me. Looks at me, and she kind of just gives me a nice smile and goes back to her work. fucking floodgates, dude.
What?
Out of the blue, I'm fucking crying on day 2.
Love it.
I'm like going, oh my God, I'm fucking so embarrassed. I'm so sorry about this. I'm fucking in art class. I'm fucking art therapy. I'm crying. What the fuck?
What did it pull up?
She's like, we could talk about it if you want or not. You can do what you want. She was very cool. Wasn't like, well, let's talk about this. And I go, Simon, this wasn't contrived. This wasn't me. I had thought about saying this. This was almost like in tongues. I figured out on the fly what was happening. I go, I'm colorblind my whole life. I got D's and F's in art. Nobody paid attention to me. I got paddled. I was called dumb. I was all these things, and no one had patience for me. And I had attention deficit disorder, and I was all over the place, and no one could handle me. And fucking here you are, this woman who's just like so calm and so like supportive, and you make me feel so comfortable. And this is all I fucking ever needed. And I'm crying, and I'm like. So, fast forward out of the wellness center. Since then, every Friday night, guess what I do at my house?
Draw.
Skype.
Art night.
Nice.
Did you say Skype?
With your art
No.
teacher.
Skype? No. I have art night at my house. I explain to my friends, this is what happened. You can do what you want. I draw. I'm a 9-year-old drawing, but I don't have to be great. And I'm just going to enjoy this with you guys. And so
that's
10
cool.
to 20 people come a week, even if it's just 2 people or me alone, I just do it. And so I've been incorporating all these things.
Love it, dude.
Like even for one of my therapists goes, do you do charity work? I'm like, yeah, I'm always writing checks for people. I try to help out as much as I can. And, she's, how much hands-on do you do? And I go, I do some, I want you to do hands-on every week. I want you to go do something and so when I got back, I do Food on Foot, which is a homeless organization, nonprofit, every Sunday, and I do every other Tuesday at the Ronald McDonald House. Sometimes with Theo, my buddy Theo Vaughn, our buddy, and we do Ronald McDonald House. I bring movies and juice boxes and popcorn, and I hang out with the kids.
Hands-on's better,
and that's when, dude, that's when you realize I'm not. It's not all about me.
Right,
these kids
right.
are like happy you're there. You're just giving love and all that. I'm telling you all these little things that I learned that I should have learned with. I should have learned this, but I didn't. I didn't have that.
So you're learning now, and I give $2,000 a month to charity. Now charity's a stripper in Vegas, but she gets most of my money, and it's worth it.
Charity.
It makes you feel good.
That's good,
No, dude. But listen, that's beautiful, dude. And you know what?
It is what it is.
I got a friend of mine who's a really smart guy, and he's like a PhD and a best-selling author guy. And he goes, "Look, I hit him up. I'm like, I'm feeling down." He goes, "Go do something for somebody else less fortunate,
Always.
and see how much better you feel." And I'll go do something as trivial as go buy an $8 turkey at Whole Foods and go give it to some guys in the alley in Venice. And I swear to God, the look on their face when they take that turkey and they're stoked, I'm like, I ain't got it so bad.
Yeah.
Those little things, instead of just writing a check and giving
Little
it.
things like sitting there and not just going, "Oh, I'm here feeding the homeless. Oh, I did my good deed for the year."
Yeah.
It's like actually talking to them and going, "Hey, how are you?"
Right?
Was it like a
More
specific
personal.
thing that made you go to the wellness center? Or
Yeah,
it was like over time?
I just felt like I didn't like where I was headed. I didn't like my thinking. I didn't like sort of being in a constant. I sort of, what's the word, like homeostasis or like
Yeah, that's the right word.
Not even that. Maybe I was just like I was just down on myself. I just felt like
This town will do it to you.
I was
man.
incomplete. I was just incomplete, and I've been like that for a long time, and I was hiding it.
Yeah.
I was hiding it through funny and comedy and success and look at me and everything's great. And then it's okay, and that's again why I do the podcast, because all these other actors, they actually tomorrow's episode, is this air today?
No, this will air
Whatever.
in 2068.
But whatever. So my last guest had a panic attack on the podcast, and then was strong enough to come back, and a big star, and came back and talked about it, which
great.
helps people. And
Dude, this is great.
So that's what it is.
That's great. It's because I feel like you and me have a very similar situation, same age, same business, kind of going through the same shit. So I relate to this a lot more. A 22-year-old might be listening to this going, "What the fuck are these guys talking about?" But
Yeah.
you know what? It's I totally get it, dude. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of it's this town that we're in, and everyone's comparing to other people, and you see your peers. Some people are doing great, some aren't. You always look driving down Sunset, your peers are on a billboard, and no one's ever happy. No one's ever happy
Worst
in
thing
show
you could
business.
do, and I am victim of it. I've done it. You've done it. You've done it.
Suck your own dick?
Comparison is
Compare.
the thief
yeah,
of joy.
comparison.
I
is
just
the
got an
thief of joy,
argument.
baby.
I just got an argument with my friend. Well, it doesn't matter, but one of my friends, And he was like, your problem was you were like, you compare yourself. I'm not comparing myself anymore. That's not what that is at all. And I'm very aware of it. I'm very like, if somebody says something to me and they're right, I will go, you're right. That's why I was doing that. You're right. I'm sorry.
It's called getting older, man.
Now, but by the way, you used to said for like these millennials or young people who are, this isn't right for them, this conversation. It's bullshit, because I was thinking about going on tour around, maybe you go with me, around the colleges, start with the one that I went to, and talk about like, you guys get caught up in your lives, you get caught up in this. I'm telling you, no matter how much success, look at my success, look at all this, you will hit a wall if you don't stop. And this thing, at least I had in my youth, like, at least there wasn't.
Yeah, that would
and these are great. These are great,
but they're also awful.
But like, there's a thing that just it's so important. Like when you eat with friends, man, just put your phones in the middle.
Well,
whoever grabs it pays for fucking dinner.
We talked about this. It's called stacking. You all stack your phones in the first person. Oh, you got the new one with the 3 cameras. Yeah, the cell phones are the devil. They're the best and the worst thing. If I was a kid and I had that thing, oh my God, talk about comparison's the thief of joy. That's the problem with what's going on right now.
You and I wouldn't have made it if we had these back.
Dude, it would have been terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we talk about the music stuff?
I mean, if you want.
I'd love to hear about it. I didn't even really know. I thought I was your friend, but I don't know much about Left on Laurel.
Left on Laurel, there's the hat. All right, so here's the deal. Again, comparing. I didn't do it because I wasn't getting music because I was like, I don't sing like Adam Lambert. I don't play music like fucking Fiddler on the Roof or something. What was his name? Not
Yanni?
Fiddler on the Youth. Whoever. I was like, I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm going to do this. And actor singing. He's like, I was like, I love music more than anything. I would have been a rock star for sure instead of an actor. I always loved music. I just never thought I could sing or play. So I've always kind of dabbled at guitar and played. And so some friends and I started playing in my basement, and Kent really never played drums. He was like cue cards guy for Conan O'Brien. And Carl, who's on Ballers, he's an actor. He never played bass. And my friend Tom is just a dipshit like the rest of us, who just was like, just kind of playing chords lightly, has a nice voice. And Rob, my buddy, was a good guitarist. So we started playing, and it sort of evolved into this thing where I'd start writing songs, and then we'd start playing, and, what's that chord? And then Rob would be like, that's an E sharp. God damn it, Carl, give me your guitar. It was like that. And it got to a point where one of my friends who's a producer goes, hey, come play at the Troubadour, open for us. I'm like, no thanks. In fact, before that, Rewind, he goes, hey, come play on our album. I'm doing a Friends with Friends album. I go, no thanks. He goes, no, do a cover of a song and you'll be on. I go, no, I don't want to. I can't do that. He's like,
wow.
Dude, you can, because I'm scared. And then he goes, dude, just pick a song you like that you could sing. I go, Mad World. Mad World seems like I could do it maybe, okay? Thinking he's going to forget. 3 months later, he's laid the drums down, the bass, come in, we're going to record it. I was scared out of my mind. I was sitting there behind the window reading it, going, all around me are familiar faces. And I started singing the song, and I go, fuck, that's terrible. He's like, just sing it. Just do it. Do it again. I did like 5 takes. He's like, great, man. I left. I go, he'll never use it. Sends me something, and I go, did you alter my voice? Did you like, he's like, no, you were flat on maybe one area, and I just picked it up a little bit. But yeah, no, it's you. And I go, wow, it's not terrible. And it sounded great. So then played it to Troubadour. Scared shitless. No, I'm going to look like shit. Played. My brother, when I got off stage, he didn't say, you were great. He goes, I've never seen you that happy. And I played 3 songs, and he goes, come to Germany for a little tour. So I had to write 7 more songs, worked on them with the band, went to Germany.
No way.
Started playing at the Roxy, played at the Love Street Festival. And it just became fun. I mean, it wasn't fun. By the way, there's a lot of shit, stress and stuff that went with it, and like egos and band. And now, I know why bands break up. But we came out with an album. It's Left on Laurel, Saved by the Ground. I just Peter Brady, just Left on Laurel. And I love it. And we're getting placement.
It's great.
And shows. And it's just, and now I just love writing. I love playing music. It makes me feel
You're smiling when you're talking about it.
Yeah.
I feel that we both have to get out of our own way. You know what I mean? Is that safe to say? Get out of your own way.
Everybody.
But see,
get out of your way. Just do it. Who
Here's
cares?
another thing is I think people just like to put everyone in a box like, oh, what do? You are a actor and that's all you do. No, you're not just an actor. You're an entertainer. You do music, podcasts, acting, writing, directing. So I think we put ourselves in a box too, because I do the music shit too. And it's just like, for me, it's just another lane to express myself. And I was just like you, fucking around with my friends. Next thing you know, we're on tour with the Chili Peppers in Europe. Like, how the fuck did this happen?
Because we
just had fun. And another thing is just say yes and. Like when no, yes and just keep going, dude. Because I like it. I think you're gonna fucking the music thing's rad for you.
I do. I'm just trying, like, without spreading myself too thin. But it's I'm just learning that no one cares.
Yeah, except us.
If you listen to my music, you might go, "Oh yeah, a little."
Yeah, nobody else gives
70s,
a fuck.
a little wallflowers,
You're your
a
own
little
worst
beachy.
critic.
Hey, maybe that's good. Some people might go, "Oh, this is fucking awesome." And by the way, what did Dylan say? Was it Dylan who said it? You can please some of the people some of the time, a few of the people all the time, but you can't please all the people all the time.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
If you just live life through that, go on stage and you sing a song, 90 people might fucking think it's a piece of shit. But do you like it?
And to tie it all back around, to the very beginning is don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Because we used to not give a fuck when you're younger. You get older, you start overthinking it, and overthinking it is just the enemy of anything creative. Just stop, just get out of your fucking head and do it. And that's the fucking, for me, that's always been what worked. And once I start oh no, they're not gonna like, just fucking do it. You know what I mean? It's easier said than done. You know what I mean?
It is. It's constant work. It's constant. And you look, I think there's also, look, do it. Prepare the best you can. Like I also do something where what's helping me with anxiety is I stop myself. Anything, if you can't change it or control it, you got to shelve it immediately. So if I go, next week I'm playing at the Troubadour, what if I my voice is gone? Or what if, thinking of stupid things like, what if no one shows up? What if, stop. Can you control this? Can you fucking change it?
Isn't that the AA mantra? Isn't that the AA mantra?
I don't know, but I do. Yeah. It does work.
Right.
It's just stupid. You're just sabotaging yourself. Just have fun. Try to enjoy it. I'm trying to enjoy it, and I could feel it. I could feel the change.
Well, it's funny because I see you light up when you talk about certain things.
Yeah.
All right. So people listening, I want them to listen to the podcast.
Please. I think you'll like it.
Inside of You
with Michael Rosenbaum. It's everywhere, and we're going to be going on video soon. And great guest, and I appreciate that.
And the music they could get on all platforms, just like the podcast.
Left on Laurel, you can get it anywhere for free. Yeah.
And all your and his library of amazing movies and television, you guys could just go get on iTunes, Netflix, wherever the fuck else, dude.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Last quick thing is, I remember me and you were both in Canada at the same time, and you inspired me to get my RV because you had a party van.
That you have that van.
You still have the van. It's in your driveway.
17 years, I still have that van.
Dude, I remember we jumped in your van. You just bought it. We're in
remember,
Vancouver.
I
And you had all the
remember.
lights and the music, and I remember it planted a seed in the back of my head. I'm like, this motherfucker is on a hit TV show, and he's got his own party van driving around Vancouver. I'm like, this is so awesome. 20 years later, I just went and bought an RV. I got my party van now, dude. You know?
You know what's funny? Is people go, why do you have a van? Because some people, I think, are honestly like a little upset by it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, people make fun of me all the time for the RV.
Look, Dillard's like, she's going, why do you?
Vans can be a little creepy. I mean, come on, there is a stigma. There is a stigma.
Do you know why I got a van?
Why?
Because everybody in my small town, all my neighbors, had minivans, and they used to take all of us, like the kids, the neighbors, to a Cardinals game or to whatever. And my parents never had a minivan. No one could spend the night. Everything was really strict. So I said one day, I'm going to get a fucking van. And I'm also going to get a house and have little gatherings, and my friends are going to come over, and they don't have to take their fucking shoes off, and they can enjoy themselves. Ooh. And so I think that's like that. I have a van because we go to like Victorville, we do hot springs.
I love it.
It's just, man, and it's hard for me to sell it now because if you look at the value of it, it's like $6,000.
But it's worth way more than that to you.
I can never sell it.
Can I come do art one night with you guys? Invite me over next time.
I would love it.
I want to come finger paint.
You're probably good. Finger what?
Finger paint on your dick. Maybe
finger paint.
I'm going to finger paint. I want to paint a bigger
at your
dick.
art. Right.
Yeah, I want to come ruin it by finger banging your butthole.
I thought you said finger banging, not finger painting.
Dude, thank you so much for coming by. I'm glad you and Dillard got to meet.
Dillard, you're super.
She's super. You guys super.
So
Love you guys. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Love you. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that episode with Michael Rosenbaum. It's crazy how me and him sort of had the same trajectory, and I've known the guy for, Jesus, I think we talked about it since 1996, almost 25 fucking years. And now we're both doing podcasts because that's what you do when you're an actor in LA, to fucking fill in the blanks. And we both do music. We're the same dude. We're basically the same dude. Only he just has a lot more money. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. I am going to play one of his songs that he talked about. And just go check out all his socials, and you could check out his music too. Left on Laurel. Go download his shit, suck his dick, butt fuck him, whatever you want to do, lick his balls. Just buy his music and then lick his balls after. Enjoy the song.
Stars shoot out across the darkest time you smile, thinking, God, I got you by my side. And if it all ended, baby, hey, thanks for the ride. And I fulfill my fantasy and all my dreams of love. I'm going out of my head again, with my back up against the wall, so it seems. And I fulfill my fantasy and all my dreams of love. I'm going out of my head again and again, back up against the wall, so it seems. Yeah. And I fulfill my fantasy and all my dreams of love. Going out of my head.
Hey everybody, you are listening to Nervous Rex. A Nervous Rex. Meow.